Alright, what's going on, everybody? It is Zombies here again, and today we got another Mercenaries comp for you. So, today we're doing a really cool one. We're finally featuring Cookie the Cook. Honestly, I was really underwhelmed when I first saw Cookie, but after seeing some people use him more recently, he's really overperformed. And half the time he does that without even getting on the field because of this right here. Appetizers 4 give friendly characters plus 9 health at the start of the game. Um, I saw this comp. It's a thing that's been featured a few different places, but where I found it was I was actually watching the Battle of the Bounty last night. I'll leave a link in the description to the VOD, but it was actually another Mercenaries tournament. I actually took part in this one. Unfortunately, I did get knocked out in the first round. The format was a little bit different. We actually had access to a 4 mercenary sideboard, and it was best of 5. It was actually really fun. Ended up going 2-3 against the first opponent, and definitely feel like it's just totally different than ladder. It's really it adds a whole ton of depth in terms of like counter strategies and then countering counters and a lot of mind games involved. But I really recommend checking out the VOD because if you're enjoying Mercenaries, it's super cool seeing it played in such a kind of different format where it changes things up a bit. And I think the casters also did just a fantastic job casting the tournament. It was really just really enjoyable time. I believe they're doing another run at it next week. So it aired this past Saturday. So I believe this coming Saturday they're going to be doing another one. I don't know if it's with the same participants or new participants, but I do recommend checking that out if you've been enjoying Mercenaries a lot. Because I really hope tournament kind of style stuff catches on more because it's really fun. I really like the idea behind sideboarding, and it just gives it a little bit more depth than we're currently seeing on ladder, which I really like. Back to the comp though, not to get too distracted. So the whole goal of this comp here is basically we are utilizing Malfurion with his life root staff to basically heal himself as long as there are other units. Then we also have Anduin here, who's basically the star of the show. You know, he's been showing up in a lot of comps recently because he's been really insane, and that's because of his sustainability via healing and this item, Ring of Purity. He just Anduin snowballs out of control. The one thing that was kind of shutting him down that I saw was Shadow Samuro, at least when I was trying him in a purely holy based comp. But after trying him in this, that's actually why we're running Cookie, is because that plus 9 HP from Cookie, it basically enables Anduin to be able to survive Samuro when they lead with typical Shadow composition of Vol'jin, Natalie, Samuro. You can actually survive, basically heal up a ton of health after getting damaged and kill their Samuro off, and it just snowballs from there because Samuro's really their only main answer to dealing with Anduin. Diablo really isn't that great at doing it on his own. So, and then Anduin just kind of keeps your guys healthy, allows you to kind of snowball the game. Eventually, they'll probably kill your Malfurion, but that's okay because then you can just slam in another unit, and usually you can kind of ride the Anduin snowball to victory. Mukla is also a really good unit. The main reason we're running him is I didn't actually realize this at first, but his two of his abilities are nature abilities. And since with Malfurion, a lot of the time we're kind of spamming Centurion Surge, we're speeding up those abilities, so that way both of these are actually 0 speed heals effectively when Malfurion is out, and that's just really big because there are some times when we do really need that healing, or it can be relevant where if we're going to lose our unit, like it's going to get killed that turn, we can still get some more bonus health on Anduin to kind of help keep him alive and close out the game in the end. Um, Cookie's been great, so I'm still leveling my Cookie, but the things you really just want to have on him, at least from my experience, his task 7, appetizers 4, this is the most important thing on Cookie. I mean, a lot of the time you don't even use Cookie because your opener snowballs so hard, but this is the reason why you're running Cookie, and this is what I 100% top priority what you want to focus on. Then next, probably just Fish Feast. 2 speed, so it's nice and fast. It's nature, so if you throw him out while you still got a Malf out, it can get you some extra healing, and it's just good for picking off a weak unit. And that death blow is also nice, giving an additional 15 health to all friendly characters if you do manage to get a kill with it. His other abilities aren't bad. Bleed's kind of cool, but not the most amazing thing in the world, because there's a lot of Anduins running around right now. So they can kind of just heal that up, get rid of the bleed effect. It's not too threatening versus them. And I do wish it was almost just like, probably be too strong if it was just restore 5 health to your characters. But I do think Murlocs and Pirates is a little bit limiting on the return to health there, so I wouldn't worry about this one too much. Go Fish seems pretty good. I haven't actually had too many opportunities to use in PvP, but it was very handy for grinding out some tasks in PvE because you can just kind of summon it and keep spamming your abilities, and the game would not end, which is cool because you just keep summoning more of the fish. But I think I've only used this like once or twice, mainly because most of the time Cookie's not getting out there, and if he is getting out there, you do kind of want to be spamming some good damage. But this could be interesting to try and set up for if you need Karen Diablo to close it out. You could get an extra summon or two there, so that way if your mercs do die and you have to switch in Karen Diablo, you can just get a super insane combo off with Diablo and his Fire Stomp. Diablo's pretty standard, just running Black Soulstone as you do. And Karen, pretty much the same thing. Reincarnation, we all know what that's about right now. It's just really solid back-end mercs. To be honest, you might not, I think these are actually the flex spots of the team. I do think it could be worth experimenting with 2 different mercenaries in these slots, but they're just so generically good that I don't see any reason to not run them right now. Maybe that will change once the hotfix gets applied to Karen, where if he dies before getting his ability off and gets resummoned with reincarnation, he will no longer cast a ability that turn. So I do think he's still going to be a good mercenary, but I do think that change might make him a little bit worse. So maybe there's a little bit more flexibility to try another mercenary or 2 in place of him and Diablo. But we'll see on that eventually. Let's see if we can find some games with this. And we've got another game. Alright, 222. Please, yeah, be something different. Because literally before this I queued into the same fucking guy like 3 times. I don't know if that's a player population issue or what, but alright, so this is what we want to see. We want to see this lineup. Because theoretically, we should be favored against this. And so far in practice, that seems to be true. At least in my experience. Because they go for the snipe on the Mukla, and unlike in normal Holy Comp, which is also great, Anduin actually survives, because Cookie is in the back giving him the extra HP, so he can survive turn 1, even if they do get through our Mukla's big brother. It's interesting though, because I've actually found that Holy Comp basically counters this comp. But this comp counters Shadow Samuro, and Shadow Samuro counters Holy Comp. So it's a little like each one of them kind of counter the other. It's kind of interesting. But as you can see, we survived. Not only did we survive, but our Anduin is chilling at 103 health, which is pretty absurd. Just, we can really snowball away with the game here. Buff ourselves up on Mukla. I think we just want to keep the speed nice and constant. and focus down the Natalie while getting some healing in. Anduin's just going to scale to an insane amount here. Alright, so he focuses Mouth, which is definitely smart. But Mouth kind of did his job. Like, now we can send in our Diablo and start cleaning up. Because his comp just doesn't have a clean way to deal with the Anduin. That's really the whole thing. I am expecting a taunt Karen here, but it's, I mean, actually, no, he just goes for the straight attack. Interesting. That should be good for us. The slow, what does he have access to next turn? It's Anathema, so doesn't have a way to heal next turn, so we can go for the kill next turn. Question is, I mean, I think, we just go for Karen and just get the Wombo combo off. Boom. Boom. I mean, these two are still, well, only he's really faster. Truth be told. Job's done. But I think this should just be good. Like, we speed up, we heal up, boom, boom, boom. This seems like a good position to be in. Bulgin's weak, his healer is down, Karen's weak. You can send in Diablo, but what does Diablo really do against this board? You're really not threatening Anduin super hard. Go for damage, go for the kill on the Bulgin. Wait. 12. It's not enough to kill Karen, so yeah, we go for on the Bulgin. And just get some more Diablo damage. Makes sense. We're just going to barely survive with our Diablo, but extra health will help with that. And we should just be able to wrap up this game here pretty nicely, I think. There's just no clean answer for the opponent to deal with our Anduin. Speed up. Boom. Heal up. Boom. Or damage. That seems like a huge mistake in my opinion. You shouldn't, well, I don't understand why he didn't target the Anduin with the meteor. You get more damage on the Anduin and you hit adjacent units. It's a huge mistake from the opponent. Okay, now we have access to this, so we just go there, get the damage off. Focus Ragnaros. And that should wrap it up, really. Another instance of Karen being really strong. With his ability still proccing. Yeah. It's gonna be game. GG. And we've got ourselves another game. 2-2-2. So hopefully we'll be running into maybe a Shadow Samuro comp. That is kind of the intention of this comp here. We do seem to fare pretty well against that. Fun little fact about Cookie is that additional 9 health. As we saw, it was huge in the last game, But it's also huge against Samruo leads because it actually gives Anduin the opportunity to survive, even if they do murder Mokla's big brother early on. Interesting. Another Karen Diablo lead. I wonder if these are becoming more popular. It seems like a really weird play to me, in my opinion. But, what do I know? I think we just focus down the Diablo first, and then probably the Varden. What is giving him this extra attack? Whoa. That is interesting. I've never run into a Diablo with, I think we're not going to attack. But I've never run into Diablo with anything other than Black Soulstone. So that's kind of cool. If nothing else, props for originality, opponent. But I don't think it is the optimal play. Because, yeah, now you get bonked, and I can just quickly KO you with Malfurion. Give you a little boppage. Does he have any way to heal? I mean, no. But he could kill... What speed is this? That's 7 for AoE. This is also 7, so it's going to go after. So I do need to snipe him. Even though I am going for the AoE, it may look a little redundant, but I do want to kill him before he gets the ability off. And I think the smart move is just to buff Mokla's stats. Going for a little swing against the Varden. Seems good. Yeah, Malfurion Anduin's just a freaking house in terms of healing. And when you combine that cookie ability with it, like, look at that. I just screwed over his whole Varden strategy of killing my token here, my little Mokla's big brother. Like, what do you do against that? You're like, you concede against that is apparently what the opponent does. And we have ourselves a game. With our standard start here, Malfurion, Anduin, and Mukla. See what our opponent's running. Looks like they got a... Oh, shit. Orcs. That's cool. I love seeing some neat comps like this. Alright, what do these guys actually do? Gives +4/+4 more. So the real question comes down to, who do I focus? I think I focus Saurfang, because I think he is just going to snowball pretty hard. I think I do want the super effective attack off of the Anduin, and I do think... I mean, I guess it's worth swinging. What's his ability? Attack an enemy, so 9. Yeah, I think it's fine. Should be favored against this, I would imagine. Boom, buff your orcs, sure. Oh, crap. That is a large amount of damage. However, we can now snipe this with Malfurion. Give you a little bop. We want to taunt up Mr. Mukla. And might as well go for the AoE.
Job's done.
Does make me think... What are our speeds here? So that's speed 5. Does he have anything that can outspeed here? Whenever a friendly character attacks. So he doesn't, so he's just weak to the speed here. So I can actually do this differently. So I want that there. But instead of going for the snipe, I think I can just go for the greater heal. on my characters because it's 5 speed, right? Yeah, which should still be faster than any of his attacks. I like that. Makes sense to me. And this is just showing you what the cookie health does, because Anduin would not have lived that attack at 6 HP if he didn't have that additional 9 from Cookie. That 100% is the only reason Anduin's alive here, and we're about to see how much freaking health he's about to gain, because we're going to be doing a lot of healing this turn. Yeah. Look at that. 96 HP. From 6 to 96. The light shall burn you, opponent. Holy crap. Cookie just justifying his presence immediately. He just feels good. I mean, Mukla living at 4. Another example. That additional HP. Like, maybe Mukla's gonna get sniped off real quickly, but I mean, so alright, so Karen Diablo, so we kind of know what to expect here, but am I really that scared by it? Not really. What's this? 10 damage, so that's 20. Um, I do want to kill Rorka here, just because she is a bit of a threat. Not really worried, or as worried at least, about Karen Diablo, and I'm going to go for the nature ability here, just in the off chance. Get that speed tie. A little bit of health is nice. Yeah, that's good. And it gives him less Diablo damage. Boom. Now I can snipe her. Or no, she's just dead. So great. Very good. He only has one mercenary left. Question is, what do I want to send in here? It's either going to be Diablo or Karen. I think Karen just makes more sense, probably. So he has nature abilities, right? I want to say. Are his abilities nature? Earth Stomp is, so that's good. Very nice. So we do that. Go for the Earth Stomp. I think Diablo is what we want to focus, because he's really the only major threat here, I would argue. We're going to be faster and get a bunch of healing off. Yeah, Anduin's chilling. Jesus. I mean, that's still fine. Wait, it's 4 speed. What's his 4 speed? Deal 10 damage to a character. Slow it down. This should be fine. I think. Let's see. Because I'm going to get the mouth heal. Yeah. It's totally fine. Yep. GG, opponent. Cool comp, but not ready to trifle with Cookie and friends. And we got ourselves another game. 2-2-2. Oh, we faced this guy before, actually. So he should be going with the Shadow Samuro start, so we should be favored here. Opponent might switch it up a little. because they do know what we're starting with. Yep. So they are going to start different comp here just because they don't want to. They know their regular start gets kind of wrecked. Um, so good on them for acknowledging that and trying to play around it. But I don't know if it's going to really help them a whole ton. Not really any point to attack because these both have to attack in. It just feels like a very awkward starting lineup. Like, I get the opponent's intention, and I do think it's not necessarily wrong to start with something different, especially when you know what your opponent's going to be bringing. Just double check the damage. 16. Yep. So that kills Diablo. AOE and buff. I just don't see how this puts you in a better position than your regular start. Like, it feels incredibly awkward because now your Diablo's dead. Rag is going to be following him shortly. You don't have any way to combo it. I'm literally chilling at full health, and I've killed one of your mercenaries. Yeah. Yeah. So this just shows you, if you're looking for something that beats Shadow Comp, play this. It works really well. That being said, if you're seeing a lot of holy comps, don't play this, because holy comps, at least in my experience, do kind of counter this. Alright, so to conclude with this composition here, it did basically kind of what I expected of it. If there is one thing I've learned from the 5-10 games I've played with this so far, basically it's that there's kind of a little rock paper scissors thing going on right here. So nature cookie that we have right here, this does beat Shadow Samuro leads. So if you're seeing a lot of those, play this comp. I guarantee you will have a much better time. I know that's something a lot of people have been running into, so if you're looking for a counter for that, definitely try this out. That being said, one other thing I did notice is that pretty much the last comp I covered, the Holy comp, seems to counter this pretty well. The Anduin, Velen, Mukla start versus our own Malfurion, Anduin, King Mukla start, I've tried it a few different ways now, and it's just not favorable. It's really incredibly hard to, you try and focus down the Velen, but between Mukla and his summon, it really slows you down. Then they get snowballing with that extra holy damage and healing. And so, if I've kind of learned one thing, it is so this comp beats Shadow Samuro, but it also loses to Holy Taunt. And then when it comes to Holy Taunt beats this, but it also loses to Shadow Samuro if they play correctly. So it's kind of an interesting rock, paper, scissors thing going on. So, if you're running into any one of those three, now you have a little bit of an idea where if you're seeing a whole lot of it, you know what you might be able to make use of as a counter. Cookie just really has surprised me. I really didn't put a lot of stock in this ability being as good as it is, but getting past that Samuro breakpoint is just huge because currently they don't have a really good answer for it on any of the Samuro Shadow comps that I've seen. So really cool getting, actually experiment more with this new mercenary, and I'm sure he's going to be even better once I'm able to fully max him out, but unfortunately it does take a bit of grinding. Honestly, we barely even used Karen Diablo. They came out and they were relevant, but they really were not the star of the show. Unsurprisingly, Anduin, total star of the show. Anduin's just ridiculous. This mercenary, I think, is easily one of the best casters, and just the amount of sustain and kind of stall he can do while just getting to absolutely absurd levels of health is just crazy. And I definitely recommend trying stuff out with him because he just feels really good to play right now. Do be warned, though, that there can be odd situations where if you do run into opposing Anduins, I have seen some little clips. I'll include one in the description where you can get super duper long kind of stall wars, where if it's just down to Anduin and another unit, it could take crazy long time to end the game, usually to the point where someone just concedes because they don't feel like waiting it out. So that's the only thing to keep in mind, but luckily I haven't really had to deal with that so far in my experience playing it. Um, but that's going to do it for this video. Really like this comp, definitely recommend giving it a try. If you enjoyed the video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. The support has honestly been truly insane for Mercenaries, and I really greatly appreciate it. A lot of nice words of encouragement that really mean a lot. So I'm definitely looking forward to doing a lot more mercenary stuff in the future. So until then, I will catch you in the next one. Peace.